So this is a pretty big case back here. This is the 600T. Now I know I have already unboxed the 600T before in the past, but this is a special 600T. This is the 600T white finish. So we'll go ahead and show you that I'm not lying. The white finish with window and mesh side panels. That is not to say that there's a window covered in mesh, eliminating the benefit of both of them since you can't see through the mesh, and the window would effectively block any airflow that the mesh would allow. No, that is to say you have the option of installing either a window or a mesh side panel. Pretty cool. So let's go ahead and break the seals here. 600T has proven itself to be very popular. I mean, I'm sure otherwise Corsair wouldn't have bothered releasing another color. I actually haven't seen the 600T white in person yet, so I am definitely looking forward to this because I really like the functionality of the 600T black, and the aesthetic of the white version intrigues me. So I'm just going to go ahead and show you guys the way that it's packed in here. Then I'm going to dump this out off camera, and I'll be back in a minute. So it's using a fairly soft, so not super brittle, but also not closed cell foam to protect your case. However, if you look at the thickness of the foam, check this out. I really wouldn't worry about anything going wrong with this chassis in transit. I mean, even if you have to ship it like a couple times, I really don't think anything's going to get damaged. It's a nice big shipping box. You can see it's using a double layer, so two corrugated layers here, so it's very, very strong. Okay, so I'm going to dump this out. I'll be back in a sec. Alright, so now that we've got it out of the packaging, here's those giant pieces of foam in case you care. Some people do. Alright, we've got a dust cover here, so we're going to go ahead and remove that. And now we see that the case is upside down. So I'm going to have to flip it over before continuing my unboxing. There we go. So this is the Corsair 600T white. Since I have already unboxed the 600T in the past, I'm not going to focus too much on... Hold on just a minute. Now that... I get it. Okay, I was like... So they offer a window and mesh side panel options, but I don't see any other accessories in here. So what they've actually done is they have packed the mesh side panel into a box inside the case, giving you the option to, and it's very easy to remove, just undo these screws, put in your mesh side panel, and boom, you're done. So this is nice, actually. They've taken a lot of steps to make sure that they're doing a great job of changing this case from black to white. So number one, look at this. They've done not only the outside of the case, but also the inside of the case has been completely finished in white. So they've powder coated it, which means that all the little nooks and crannies are completely white. It has a very striking finish because it looks kind of like Stormtrooper armor with the white and black accents. So let's go ahead. I mean, I'll show you guys a quick tour of the 600T if you aren't already familiar with it. So you've got 8 expansion slots, so you can support XL-ATX motherboards that have 8 expansion slots, but not 9. Bear that in mind, guys. You got your bottom-mounted power supply. You've got 6 hard drive sliders that support 3.5-inch and 2.5-inch each. You've got a front 230mm fan, top 230mm fan, rear 120mm fan, which is compatible with Corsair liquid cooling systems such as the H60 or H80. All the internal cables in Corsair tradition are black, so you don't have to worry about sleeving them if you want a super nice color coordinated build. The 5.25-inch bays are toolless. I actually love their toolless system. It's really easy to use. In terms of included accessories, we've got screws and a couple cable ties. Okay. You've also got a key for... What's the key for? I have no idea. Okay, I'll try and figure out what that key is for a little bit later. I think, I might have even been trying to figure out what the key was for the last time I did a 600T unboxing, and I probably figured it out and then now I've forgotten. So on the top you can remove this whole mesh thing right here. That gives you access to install different fans, so you can take out the 230mm, you can put in two 120mm, which will give you the compatibility for a radiator, and there's your key. So for whatever reason, that is what you might need to open, which would unlock the side panel. Yes, okay, so that is your side panel lock. There's a latch right here that closes onto this particular button, which will make it so that it won't be able to close, which would open up the case. All right, on the top, you've got your power and reset switches. You've got your integrated fan controller, 4 USB 2.0 ports, 1 USB 3 port, which I believe is enough actually, 1 FireWire port, headphone and microphone ports, and then on the front you've got your 4 5¼ inch bays, as well as your front fan filter for that 230 mil fan that is, well, in the front. Love the overall look of this case. I think the white version is much more impressive than the all black version. Look at that, it just looks really clean. I'm gonna step back so you guys can see it in more even lighting here. On the back, you find lots of cable management features, which we're accustomed to with Corsair cases at this point, almost to the point where we take it for granted. Huge CPU cutout, so no matter where your socket is situated, you're going to be able to remove the back plate of your cooler and install a new one without removing your motherboard. Nice, soft grommets for cable routing, so you can take all your cables from your power supply, bring them out here, route them to wherever they need to go, so you know, video card, 8-pin CPU connector, you know, your drives up here, you can route things over here. You got a fair bit of space, actually you got a ton of space, between the side panel of the case and the back of the motherboard tray here, so you can route 24-pin power connectors behind the CPU motherboard, or behind the motherboard tray with no difficulty. As I mentioned before, here's all your front connectors. So those are all sleeved black for your aesthetic convenience and satisfaction. And I think that's pretty much all I wanted to say. Why don't you look at the back? Because I haven't shown that yet. You can see that it uses vented PCI covers for more airflow. You've also got water cooling holes because everyone uses external water cooling units, I guess. Although I would definitely recommend installing a dual rad in the top and then a single in the back versus running a triple outside here, because that will give you the same cooling performance and it'll all be inside and tidy. You can pick up your whole case and move it somewhere if you need to. So thank you for checking out this unboxing and first look on Linus Tech Tips. Don't forget to subscribe for more unboxings, reviews, and first looks and other videos on my channel.